I'm sorry we missed 2 weeks, but we are back, and we've been providing information over on Patreon. We'll get into that in a second, but we are back, and today we are giving you 9 sleepers that I really like heading into this week. There's going to be more as the weekend rolls on and injury reports are finalized, but these are 9 guys that I'm really looking at to get involved in my lineups. So let's take a look.
This is Allaqcess, your home for fantasy sports talk.
My name is Bradley, and we've been helping hundreds and thousands of people every single week to try and develop better lineups. Now, if you follow us on Patreon, this is kind of the information you get. We give you our rankings. We give you weather reports. We give you player injuries and news that you need to know Sunday morning before kickoff. We usually get that email sent out about 9 o'clock, and it's in your inbox, and all that information is there. We gave you a little outline of a lineup that we wanted to play that included Joe Burrow, Austin Eckler, Kenneth Walker. And yeah, I did make the mistake and say, hey, let's take T. Higgins just to save a couple bucks. But I told you Joe Burrow was my number 2 favorite quarterback, and my number 1 wide receiver that I wanted was Jamar Chase. I just wasn't able to fit him in with my perfect lineup that I wanted. And yeah, we kind of regret that. But we did absolutely smash, and we cashed for everyone there. The misses that we had, obviously I've talked about T. Higgins, DK Metcalf with his injury, T.J. Hawkinson didn't have a great day, and then Alec Pierce, kind of a letdown. It was very cheap, but it was a little bit of a letdown. We're going to get into week 8, and I got my hat front ways today. No backwards hat, DFS content provider here. We are ready to look ahead. And don't forget, at the end of the video, you're going to find out how you can register for your chance to win a $20 Millionaire Maker ticket funded by Allaqcess, so pay attention till the end. But we're going to start things off with a couple quarterbacks here. P.J. Walker, $5,200 against the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's really developed into something nice. I believe he's 3-0 technically as a starter. Yes, he does have a win where he had, I think, 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions against the Detroit Lions. But without Christian McCaffrey, they have to figure out a way to push the ball down the field. He's going to be looking the way of DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall Jr. I expect Atlanta to play up and try and shut down the run against a very good rushing O-line. And that should open up some opportunities for P.J. Walker and DJ Moore, who you could see next slide. Davis Mills, $5,200 against a very bad Tennessee Titans defensive back situation. Brandon Cooks looks like he might be traded, so they might be sitting him out, or they could overpopulate his handles to get him even more trade value. I don't expect him to be a 25, 30-point guy, but keep in mind, we are always looking for just 4 times our value on these players. So at $5,200, what's the chances that he can put up 20 points? That's 180 yards and a touchdown or 2, and he's right on that precipice. I know, another Panther. Call me a homer all you want, but at $5,300 in a backfield that just lost Christian McCaffrey is not going to have Chuba Hubbard, and his backup is Blackshear, who only joined the team 2 or 3 weeks ago. Deonta Foreman could get a heavy dose of action. I wouldn't be surprised if Laviska Shenault also got a couple of spells in the backfield, but at $5,300, you're getting a guy who's probably going to get 17 to 20 touches in this one, plus he is their main red zone threat. I look for him to be able to hit 16 to 20 points against an Atlanta Falcons defense that has struggled at times against the running back. So even if you only think there's going to be 2 or 3 touchdowns scored in this game, I guarantee you one of them is going to be coming on the back of Deonta Foreman. I had to include him. DJ Moore, there's not much to say. It's the Carolina Panthers. I'm sorry. We're going to move into some other teams in a second, but he's averaging 9 targets over his last 4 games. After CMC leaves, Christian McCaffrey goes out to San Francisco to go find some gold. DJ Moore is that guy that they need to get going. He's running crisper routes, it appears. He's running better routes, and they're trying to get him the ball. P.J. Walker has the arm strength to get it there. I look for him to connect on some big plays this week. Raheem Mostert at $5,900. I know he's above that $5,500 threshold, but people are suddenly forgetting that he's looked really good over the past few weeks. It's a Miami Dolphins team going up against the Detroit Lions, who has been terrible defensively. I think Raheem Mostert is one guy that I really want to get into my lineups. Going back to the Carolina game, Kyle Pitts at $4,000. They have struggled against tight ends and slot receivers all season, all over the past few years, really. They've been doing that. One good thing is they're going to get J.C. Horn back, it appears. So he probably will be covering up Kyle Pitts. If that's the case, then I'm going to be shying away. So if J.C. Horn is in this game, I'm going to kind of back up on Kyle Pitts. But there is a lot of really cheap tight ends this week. Next up, another wide receiver in Hunter Renfrow at $4,900. Yes, he has been outsnapped by Matt Collins over the past few weeks, but this is tentative on the health of some of the other players like Darren Waller and Matt Collins. There is the instance that Hunter Renfrow does have his game. There could be some 3 wide receiver sets in this one, and he could be distributed the ball. At only $4,900, you're looking for him to get 12 to 15 points, and I think that is completely feasible even without a touchdown if he's getting good snaps. Would a touchdown be nice? Oh, absolutely. But a guy that I love even more in the same game is Tre'Quan Smith at $4,400. Michael Thomas is still out. Jarvis Landry is still out. So that leaves you Marquez Callaway, Chris Olave in the slot, and Tre'Quan Smith at technically wide receiver 2. He's gotten good involvement. He's seen a decent amount of targets, which includes at least 6 targets in 3 of his last 4 games. Now, again, I'm not looking to get 36 points out of these guys, but at $4,000, if we're able to get 12 points, we're looking at 4 catches, 40 yards, possibly a touchdown. 4 catches, 40 yards is 8 points. You're still getting a flame beside the guy. If he gets a touchdown in there or he makes a big play, if that offensive line can hold up against a defensive front that's been decent, Tre'Quan Smith could have a big day, looking at 16 to 20 points for him. And lastly, Braxton Berrios at $3,700. This guy's not going to catch you off guard. It's probably not going to catch a lot of people off guard. Against the New England Patriots, Corey Davis is out. Elijah Moore is unhappy. He is going to be playing this one probably. But Braxton could see an uptick in targets behind Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore if he's playing. Do I love this play? No. But in the 2 games that he was thrusted into a bigger role, he had 6 targets and 5 targets. If he's able to get me 3 or 4 catches for about 25, 30 yards, I'm okay with the 7 points. Touchdown upside gets you up to 14. I know, we kept this one short, but more information is going to be coming with our studs video tomorrow, where we actually pull up the Draftkings slate. We develop a little bit of lineup fitting in 3 or 4 studs that we absolutely love and funnel in some of these cheaper guys to try and develop a lineup. If you want more information from Patreon and you want to go above and beyond in support of the channel and you want to get that newsletter in your inbox every single Sunday morning, subscribe on Patreon. That's down in the link below. Join us over there. And if you want a chance to win right now, a Millionaire Maker ticket, just let me know. Who's going to be the highest scoring player on the Week 8 main slate and how many points will they get? If you think it's going to be Cooper Kupp and he gets 32.8 points and you put Cooper Kupp 32 points down in the description below, one person who correctly guessed the whole number of 32 points would be deemed correct and would get that $20 Millionaire Maker ticket funded by Allaqcess. So again, just put it down in the information below. Put it down in the comments, actually, not in the information. I do that. But I appreciate you stopping by and spending a few moments with me. If you could, hit that thumbs up. And if you're brand new here, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. We are ready to cash once again. Remember, 50-50s and double ups are our main priority. And then every once in a while, we'll dabble in some of the bigger tournaments, 3-entry max, single entries. We like teams with a high floor. Let's do it again this week.